Hey everybody, and welcome back to Split Couch Games. I'm Scott,
And I'm Ben.
and this is Couchcast number 39. We're going to be kind of revisiting some topics, as you know, there's been some conclusiveness to those, and we can start off
Conclusiveness. Word of the day, right there.
It's on the Word of the Day calendar. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Anyway, Ben, thanks for pointing out my grammar. God. Anyway, so God, everything is all like all the orders of what podcast came out when and all that. Like, I have no idea, so I can't name a specific podcast.
Yeah.
Because we're finally back on track, recording as normal. So like, this is recorded on Saturday. It's coming out on Monday.
Yes.
Like,
we're no longer like recording ahead or anything. We both had our, out of town / unavailable shenanigans that happened, and now we're back. So
yeah,
let's get into it.
Let's get right into it. So a while ago, like a few podcasts ago, we talked about how Capcom copyright striked and like completely removed gameplay video from the game that I will once again butcher the name of. It's Daiguken Saibon, which is a Phoenix Wright offshoot that was only released in Japan, and a bunch of fans spent 8 months doing the English translations for subtitles and putting it on YouTube.
Yes.
It was taken down, and they decided that they were going to fight it, and they won.
Nice.
So it's back, and YouTube was like, this is totally fine. Fair use and everything. They claimed that it was transformative and educational.
Yeah. Which I'm not terribly shocked about that, but at the same time, I'm a little shocked about that.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same place, actually. Yeah.
Just because they do have a valid point. It is transformative and everything like that, so that's not... Like, I'm not arguing that it's not educational or anything. It's just more of the fact that, like, that was actually the conclusion that they came to and everything. Mm-hmm. Just simply because I don't really feel like that's common for video games when it comes to like takedown notices and copyright strikes and all that kind of stuff. Like, for the most part, I feel like the companies usually went out, but wasn't the case here.
That's definitely true. Like, if generally speaking, if a company claims copyright and then like, especially when it's manually done, like we've had a couple of claims on our channel that were automatic, and it's usually like, oh, they're just protecting their stuff, or like YouTube's being overzealous or whatever. But when it's manually taken down, they're usually going to fight it, and they're usually going to win because it's their property. So I think like this is really awesome, and I think that it's still a little bit of a gray area. Like, I definitely see where Capcom is coming from, and one of the reasons for that is I was watching the Nose video on it, and they mentioned that like it shouldn't be a problem because they haven't released it for the Western audience, so like it's not taking away sales because the Western audience can't buy it anyway.
Yeah.
But my counter argument to that is that what if they want to? Right? Like, if at any point in the future they want to release it for a Western audience, then is that okay to take it down because it's taking away sales? Like,
I feel like technically at this point, no. Since it's already been ruled on.
Yeah,
I mean, I would assume that this type of thing kind of holds up to the same rules that, a court of law would hold up to. Like, you can't, essentially charge someone for the same crime twice.
Well, I would assume... Well, I mean, this is just YouTube's ruling. This isn't like a court ruling, so...
Well, yeah. But I mean...
I think YouTube can do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, sure. I don't know.
But...
I just feel like that
like I understand that like now is like much more set in stone, like this is fine.
Yeah.
But the No was saying that possible part of the argument is that they didn't release it for Western audiences.
Huh.
So, like, if that changes in the future, does that change the ruling? Would it have changed the ruling, even if it was released already? Like, that's sort of the thing. Like, it, and like again, like I think it's great that like a YouTuber won a copyright claim thing.
Yeah.
But it also does seem a little like unfortunate for Capcom, because like it does limit what they can do in a way.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, as always, anything surrounding copyright and everything like that is a very complicated, sticky, if you will, issue.
Yeah.
Just simply because there's not really a clearly defined right or wrong on either side most of the time. Usually it's just kind of like this vague, like, well, I mean, they have a good point, but also like it's the company's things, but they have a good point.
Which is why we keep talking about it, because it's so like there's so many ways to talk about it. Like you and I, we flip flop on who's in the right or the wrong, like the claimer, the claimee, or however that would work. But like,
yeah,
like we flip flop on it because each situation
feel like
is
for
different.
the most part we're pretty consistent.
But we do flip.
The main points when we flip flop, I feel like, have been when it's like a completely unique situation. And I mean, really, I feel like the only time that we've ever really flip-flopped has been in regards to, like, when we're talking about the ability to mod games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when Take-Two, like, did a takedown on Open 4 and everything like that, which may or may not actually be killed. I don't know if you saw that a while back. I didn't see anything about that. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just like rolled back whatever change caused it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or fixed the exploit. But
yeah,
I don't know anything about that, so I don't have, unless you have like some concrete things. Like I don't know if we can talk about that right now.
No, I can't remember what I read or heard. I just know that it was a while ago, and it was relevant considering we've talked about it before, and now we're talking about DMCA again.
What? On the Couchcast? DMCA?
Yeah, I know. It's weird. Never happens.
But yeah, so congratulations to I believe it's Go and Garbage.
Yeah.
For
something like that. Yeah.
Their victory against Capcom. That is awesome, and you are right that like it is kind of similar to the court of law, where like now there's a precedent where this kind of stuff can be put on YouTube, presumably.
Yeah.
Like if it's fine here, it's probably fine elsewhere. So I think that's cool. And I'm glad that they fought it and kind of more clearly defined the rights that YouTubers have.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing.
Yeah. I feel like we're starting to edge ever closer to
clarity.
A point where something, and like there's going to have to be like a concrete ruling at some point.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you kind of bring up a good point that like, now there is this precedent of, like, well, this should be allowed. So like if you and I decided to start, translating some game that only came out in Japan because we're secretly
let's do that. Let's
in Japanese.
Let's fucking do it. Let's do it. We can totally do it.
No, we can't.
Oh, that'd actually be a lot of fun though, right? Like we take a game like this in Japanese and like we just like do voices for it. That'd be kind of fun.
Anyways, but no, I mean like if we did it, but it wasn't a Capcom game. Yeah. Like let's say it was a Nintendo title. Obviously, Nintendo as a whole doesn't really play well when it comes to copyright and everything. I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo would be the type of company that would just like, demand a takedown regardless of what YouTube thinks. And then at that point, I feel like YouTube would almost be obligated to start fighting that legal battle, you know? Just be like, well, in the past, we've done this because of X. And I mean, it's really an inevitability. Like, it's gonna happen. It has to happen.
But I don't know if that's YouTube's obligation, though, right? Like, they...
Well, yeah, sure. But I mean, like,
I don't
if it
think
happened to the right person,
yeah,
you know, like, let's say, you know, something like this happened to, you know, like Markiplier or PewDiePie or something like that.
Someone
you know,
with a large amount.
Basically, one of their largest, you know, monetary contributors to the entire platform, then I feel like that battle would have to be fought. And I mean, you know, realistically, it probably wouldn't be if it was a big person like that, because, you know, PewDiePie or Markiplier would just be like, fine, whatever, I don't care. Like, you know, take the video down. I'm going to make a vlog about it. You're going to get a whole bunch of crap from the people that watch my vlog.
I guess, like, my thought is that, like, YouTube is going to be making their money no matter what happens, really. Like, obviously, like, there was the apocalypse, which was probably put a dent in that, but, like, for the most part, they're going to be making their money, so I don't think that they particularly care about this kind of stuff. Like, they always tend to err on the side of caution, which is why I'm surprised that the video is reinstated, because they don't want to get sued because of some small YouTuber, like,
sure,
pissing off some developer, right? And, like, it's YouTube's fault if they let that, like, they're at, from what I understand, they're at fault if they're hosting the video and, like, displaying it to the public and they don't do anything about it.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess, like, the point that I was trying to make is that, like, let's say, you know, this does happen again, and then YouTube says, you know, no, bro, it's fine. And then the company says, no, but really, like, at that point, they are involved.
And then they take YouTube, sure. Because, I guess at that point, like, Capcom could be like, hey, we're going to start suing you for copyright infringement then.
And I mean, like, the easy way out would be for YouTube to just be like, you know, okay, fine, you know, whatever, we'll take the videos down. But I would really honestly hope that they don't do that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, video games, if you ask me, like, I don't care what anyone's opinions are. Like, video games are art.
Yeah.
Because in a realistic sense, no matter how you put it, every other medium that is classified as art is present within a video game. Like, it's just like this massive amalgamation of different, you know, forms of art. So it is art.
Yeah, it's art.
And obviously that comes with, you know, things like copyright and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I feel like we're going to start rehashing all of our previous points in, like, the last 12 podcasts that we've done about DMCA.
Yeah. I do think you bring up an interesting point that, like, I guess at this point, because they've put the videos out there, it's kind of opening the door for Capcom to say, hey, like, we're going to fight YouTube on this now.
Yeah.
So, like, I doubt that Capcom's going to, because I feel like Capcom is a successful company, but it's no YouTube. So I just feel like it's going to be like, they're going to have, like, Capcom's going to have, like, 2 or 3 lawyers on a team, and then, like, YouTube is going to, like, have, like, every lawyer, and, like,
YouTube's going to be like, we're owned by Google. What are you doing? Like, we are
quiet
the world
down
economy.
Like, we are the internet.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Like, I'm curious if anything comes out. Maybe, like, Capcom will, like, send a cease and desist. They'll be like, to YouTube, and YouTube will be like, really?
Yeah.
You want to go this route?
You know,
I don't know. I'm interested to see.
Kind of off topic.
What?
But it still completely blows my mind that I don't remember how many years ago. I think it was, like, back in 2012 or something. But Google created its own parent company.
Yeah, the alphabet.
Like, yeah, that still blows my mind. I understand why they did it, because, like, having Google, which is a big company in and of itself, like, becoming owner of all these other companies would be complicated. Yeah. And, you know, should anything ever happen to Google, then all those other assets go down the drain.
Yeah.
So I understand why they did it, but it's just insane that that's even able to be done.
I've given birth to my parents.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Anyways,
Yeah.
we had
Corporate
other
law.
things to talk about in this podcast, didn't we?
Oh, we have like one or two other things. So again, kind of going back to a few podcasts ago, I'm gonna throw out the number 8. I think 8 podcasts ago, we discussed the Nintendo Switch Splatoon chat
headset.
solution. Yeah, the headset, the app was announced. Everyone lost their collective shit because it looked absolutely god awful.
God. I don't even know how many ago that was. Because that was before we started putting numbers on them. Because we're intelligent.
Well, I mean, things happen.
It was back at the beginning of June. It was published on June 7th. So
That sounds like 8. Because, I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. 8-ish podcasts ago. And so, for a refresher, basically, there's going to be a cord, or there's a cord that goes from the Switch to your phone. Or no.
No.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Here's what it is. You have the headset.
Yeah.
And then the headset plugs into a splitter. And then the splitter goes to your phone and the Switch.
Yes. Exactly. Listen to Ben, not me.
In that podcast, we talked about like worst case scenarios where your iPhone 7 is dying. So you have to have the iPhone 7 with the lightning port splitter and an adapter so that you can plug this 3.5 millimeter headset thing into the adapter and plug it into the wall to charge, and then that adapter, which is its own splitter, goes into another splitter which goes into the Switch and your headset.
And you somehow have to like finagle this across the room because you're playing a console
on your
game
couch or whatever.
on a couch.
Like, it was just
so it's not great, and it's even worse than we thought. So I don't have any first person like I haven't used it at all, so like this is all anecdotal.
Yeah,
but apparently the UI sucks dick. Like,
not shocked.
Like, apparently it's just like it's not easy to use. It's not at all like intuitive, which I'm okay with. Like, that's fine. Like, some apps just do that and like it sucks, but it's like you can deal with it, right? Like, you learn the intricacies. Like, I felt that way about the original Xbox One dashboard, where I was like, okay, this is kind of shitty, but you learn about it and you learn to deal with it.
I mean, if we were talking about like the core system UI for the Switch, then sure, okay. But I feel like if you're gonna make people go out of their way to use their phone to chat online, then you need to go the extra mile and have good UI.
Sure. Well, I would make the argument that you should have
at that point.
I feel like you should just have a good UI. Period. I don't.
Well, yeah.
But as far as the things go, like that's fine. Like I can live with that. Like if I'm playing Splatoon, I can live with that. It's like the least of the problems. Like the chat, like the actual headset setup is bad. I think that's worse than the actual app, like the UI. So
yeah.
In terms of problems, UI is the lowest. Then it becomes the headset, which is really strange. But I think, and like kind of to go along with the headset, as you can expect, the app drains the battery on your phone very quickly.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, I would assume it is an app that keeps the screen unlocked intentionally.
Well, let me tell you about that as well.
Oh, God.
If you navigate away from the app, like let's say you want to answer a text message on your phone, as you might want to do, it disconnects you from the chat. So you have to keep it open.
Yeah.
You can't turn off the screen.
It's fine. Okay? It's fine.
That part just baffles me. Like, that like to an extent, I don't like. I can understand like you can't like switch apps. Like you don't want the app in the background.
Yeah.
But when like you can play Pandora with your like iPhone turned off, or not turned off, but like the screen off, at least give us that, right? And again, like that might be the case, but like because I don't have the specific examples, but that's what it sounds like is that you have to keep the app open.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, please correct me on that.
So
but
I just real quick downloaded the app.
Yeah.
And obviously I can't look at like full UI features because I don't have Splatoon 2, which I don't even, is that out now? Did it come out?
I believe it's out
past Thursday or something?
I will check that while you continue your story.
Anyways, I don't have that game, and I'm obviously not currently trying to chat with anyone. But based off of the pictures in the App Store, the UI doesn't look terrible. It just looks like they went, the cutesy Nintendo route. So I don't imagine that the UI is as bad as what you're making it out to be. That being said, it does currently have 2 out of 5 stars with 857 reviews on the iOS App Store.
Yeah.
So
it was released yesterday.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought,
yeah.
But I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Like, I think, like, part of it was, like, the actual, like, joint, like, getting together a group was not as easy as it could have been. Like, maybe, like, a couple extra button presses or whatever than, like...
Well, I mean, the fact that I would have to manage my game invites from my phone...
Yeah.
That's a little weird. Because, like, I'm looking at it and it's like... How do I invite friends to use voice chat via online lounge? So, I guess this invitation would only be for voice chat. So, I would have to manage my game invites, probably in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then my voice chat invites on my phone.
Yeah.
This sounds like some sort of like backwards technology that should have come out like 15 years ago.
So here's the thing that I don't understand. Okay? Here's what I don't understand. So look at your iPhone. Your iPhone's itty bitty tiny, right? It's got Bluetooth in it. I don't know how big like an actual like chip that you need for like Bluetooth or whatever is. They could have found a place for it in the Switch. Right? Like they could have put Bluetooth in the Switch.
Yeah.
Or if they didn't want, like, they wanted to be in control of all the proprietary, like, headsets and everything.
Which is probably what it was.
Like, Nintendo Bluetooth. Call it, like, Nintendo or something. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
Well,
put the chat in the fucking console!
Yeah. I mean, I agree. And, like, the worst thing is that on an Xbox One, like, the headset that I'm using right now, I could plug straight into my controller and it would work fine. I wouldn't get surround sound or anything like that, but I would be able to use chat, and I would
you get
be
stereo
able to
sound.
Well, yeah,
but
that's not surround sound. That's why I was specific. I would get game sound. It wouldn't be surround sound, but it would still be game sound, and I would be able to chat as long as I had my little microphone dongle plugged in and everything.
Yeah.
What is so hard about having even that simple of a setup?
It's not
that's the part that I don't get, is that they literally have the one thing that they need already in there is the 3.5 millimeter jack.
Yeah. Wait, do the controllers have that, right? Or the Switch has. There's a 3.5 millimeter jack.
Yeah, in the Switch itself, the controllers do not. Like the Pro controller does not, and the like little, I don't even know what you want. The Joy-Con grip thing, that does not have one either.
Okay.
So like that part does still suck, but again, it's a very like small, cheap piece of tech. And and it's there. It exists. You don't even have to be like, well, we got to, do a license deal with Bluetooth because nobody really has sole ownership over 3.5 millimeter jacks.
Is that true?
I would assume it's just like a commonplace technology at this point.
I mean, HDMI is still licensed, USB is still licensed, so I think I mean I don't know.
I don't know either, but
like there's still licenses for
even if
very
it
common
is
stuff.
even if it is licensed, it can't be that expensive because it's literally.
I mean, plus like you said, there's already
7,
there.
It's in every piece of like computing technology in existence.
It's because it works and it's
Right?
simple and everyone. Not to mention, like I'm still upset that Apple made that decision. Like I'm fucking just.
It kind of pisses me off a bit because there are times where it's like, okay, you know, I'm going to bed, but like I have to do dishes or something first. And since I was playing games, like I used to be able to just unplug my gaming headset, plug it into my phone, start some music, go do dishes. I can't do that now.
Yeah.
Kind of pisses me off.
Yeah. I mean, I think that like Apple's probably like just trying to push like Bluetooth headphones, which is fair.
They're trying to push that, and to be fair to them, the Lightning adapter does support a higher audio quality than what a 3.5 millimeter adapter does. That being said, Microsoft did the same thing. Like, the original Xbox One controllers didn't have the 3.5 millimeter jack.
It had the 2.5 millimeter jack.
No.
Oh, wait, the Xbox One. The Xbox One.
That was 360.
Yeah, that was,
Xbox One had that like weird,
like,
the port on the bottom that nobody uses anymore.
Yeah,
whatever that is, it does support a much higher quality of voice chat.
Yeah.
Like, kudos to them for that. But you've now created a proprietary connection, and nobody likes that.
Yeah. I don't know. It just it's one of those things where like sometimes you don't need to innovate.
Yeah, if
like,
it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Like I mean, like I don't want to say like never innovate because like you should always be trying to.
Sure.
But sometimes the world's not ready. Like sometimes you just gotta like.
Not only that, but sometimes like the world just doesn't need you to innovate. Like
I mean, like at some point, like. At some point, the 3.5 millimeter jack like needs to be improved, right? Like
sure.
At some point.
And I mean, like I said, I feel like that's part of why Apple did that. Is because like they're kind of like, okay, guys, we need to get away from this.
But
I feel like, you know, maybe 5-10 years from now.
The thing that pisses me off about the Lightning, like that they went with the Lightning port, like I get that they like put their like.
Is that's now like an Apple exclusive thing?
Yeah, like that. Like since the iPhone 5,
yeah.
I feel like they regret that choice. But like, what I don't understand is that like the iPhone 6 or the iPhone 7 is solely Lightning port, but their laptops now are starting to use USB-C charging.
Yeah,
and it's that like disconnect that really actually just like makes me mad because it's like I want to just like when I buy Apple because like I'm in that ecosystem and I want just everything to work with each other.
Yeah.
But like now my phone and my laptops are going to have like granted like they've always had different charging because it's a laptop, but like
yeah,
but if you're going like the USB-C route,
I guess
just make it the same.
Yeah, they really should use USB-C for their phones too. I agree with you there. But I mean, that being said, USB-C has the same problems that USB 2.0 and 3.0 have, which is that it's a slower system than what Lightning is.
Yeah, I know. Or alternatively, just like have your laptops charged with Lightning. That's an option too.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Or that. Anyways,
that's.
Did we have another topic that we were going to cover, or was that pretty much it?
That's. I mean, we're at like exactly 30 minutes, so
yeah, all right.
That's going to be pretty much it. We were going to like mention, or we were like going to talk about Wildlands PvP a little bit, but
yeah, we can briefly talk about it. Next
sound
time.
Markers.
God, I don't. Like, I was interested until they said that. I was like, nope.
Yeah. Okay. Like, so I didn't watch the video, but from what I understood, it's what Ghost Recon Wildlands is getting a PvP mode,
Yeah,
and
free,
it's going to be
free
4v4
update, PvP mode. Yeah.
Oh, it's free. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And it's going to be TDM, open areas, but like not the full map, obviously. And it's going to be class based as you would expect. And they're like, oh, you have to like. I really hope that this happens. I would love like them to like, for teams to have to like pick their classes exactly right in order to do well. I feel like Rainbow Six Siege does a good job of that, where like each character, like you need like to have one of each character or like different types of characters to do well.
Well, not only that, but Siege demands it. Like you can't have two of the same person.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, that too. So like, and like Overwatch does it where like, you know, you can't have the same character, but like you want to have a good foundation of like different types of characters and everything. So I hope that this is the case, but a lot of times, anytime that like a game says like you have to balance your, like they're like make it a point like you have to choose the right balance of characters in order to succeed, I'm like, I feel like if you're saying that that's the case, that's not going to be the case.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it should just be intrinsically known and you do it.
Yep.
Like, because I never heard that from Overwatch. Like I didn't watch a lot of Overwatch marketing materials, but I don't think I ever like heard them say like, oh, you know, you need to balance your team. League of Legends never says it. Like,
yeah, I don't know that they ever explicitly said it.
I'm sure that like someone mentioned
marketing.
it, like they were like offhandedly like, oh, you know, like, yeah, you're going to want to make sure you have a balanced team, but it was never in like in the main marketing, like announcements or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I feel
I don't know. I mean, we can talk more about it, you know, maybe next time, if we feel the need. But the long and short of it, I think, is simply that I was excited because I really miss the open, like, tactical aspect of classic Ghost Recon PvP.
Mm-hmm.
But then they decided to... Like, it was literally like it's only a 1.5-minute video. I was watching it and then I was like, yeah, this actually looks like it might be fun. And then this guy says sound markers, and then like some sniper shoots at him from a tower, and then a little dot appears over the sniper's head, so he knows exactly where it is. And I was like, I'm out. Because like that immediately removes any sort of advantage that you might have for getting to a vantage point like a sniper tower or a hill that overlooks or something like that. And I mean,
like, I wonder if like, is it like, does it, not that like it makes it much better, but like maybe like if you see where the shot is coming from, like if like, so like it marks the flash for you or something like that. Like if you're looking in the other direction and you get shot, like maybe the sound marker doesn't appear.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know.
I don't know quite how it works.
But it does. There was
really a little
stupid.
bit of a weird animation to the circle popping up. So what you said may actually be similar to how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Because like he was like looking straight forward, and the sniper tower was like kind of top right of his screen, and then a shot came whizzing by, and there was like this like yellow circle that like ended up appearing above the guy's head, but it looked like it kind of like stretched into place, almost as if like it would maybe only give you a general idea at first and then narrow down or something. I don't know, but
okay, yeah, I don't know. It just seems stupid. Like, I was actually like legitimately upset. I think it was Gears 3 when they introduced glare on the sniper rifle scope, but only when you were zoomed in.
Yeah.
And I was like, we don't need that.
Yeah.
It's not like this is a fucking huge map. Like, you can see everyone in the goddamn game. Like,
yeah. No, games have been doing that a lot lately, and I feel like part of it is a product of how much graphics have been improving.
Yeah.
Just simply because, like, you know, the more realistic the graphics, like, you know, the harder it is to actually see someone hiding in a bush and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, whereas back in like Perfect Dark Zero, you know, it was literally like, oh well, there's this like blocky 2-dimensional bush and a gun sticking out of it. Like, I wonder where they are.
All I'm gonna say, I'm gonna just end this. We're gonna end this pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, that there are no sound markers in PUBG.
And I'm so excited for that to come to consoles. I know you play it on PC, but whatever, fuck you.
I'll probably buy it for consoles as well.
Yeah, you will. Play it with me.
Just so that I can play with you. Yeah. Although there might be crossplay, which
that's true.
Would absolute trash for the console players.
I mean, see, you say that, and a lot of people say that. I've legitimately seen people play Overwatch PC using a controller and still do pretty well. Obviously, not nearly as well as like someone of comparable skill level and everything, but I feel like there's a balance that can be reached.
Yeah, but it's.
No, I understand where you're coming from.
Anyway,
trust me, I do. I've played first-person shooters on PC. I get it.
All right. I do think there's an interesting discussion that we could talk about at some point. Is where like PvP games have just kind of gotten easier over the years in a way. Like it's catered to a much more casual audience.
Sound markers.
Markers.
We got to make it accessible for the casuals so that they don't just get fucking sniped every 2 seconds because they're too stupid to check their corners and not walk out into the open. That's the part that I don't get.
If we were ever to make a shirt, I want our first shirt to be sound markers.
God damn it, no.
Anyway, so if you guys would like to hear us talk about PvP games and like the state of PvP games, I like PvP, so we can talk about that for a long time.
I like PvP too. I just
shut up, Ben. You don't like PvP. I'm just kidding. But yeah, let us know if you guys want us to talk about that. This has been like a 37 minute podcast, and I have to edit this before tomorrow because my sister's coming into town.
Yeah, you don't need to see her.
So I'm gonna end this here now.
All right.
Thank you guys for watching. I've been Scott, and that's been Ben.
Don't forget, if you enjoyed it, share it with your friends, subscribe, all that jazz.
We're doing great. We're doing some fantastic growth. Hey, stop distracting me. We're leaving. We'll see you guys next time on Split Couch Games. Bye everyone.